The fans make their way in from Lansdowne Street into Fenway Park for the middle game of a three-game series between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, nice victory here last night for the Red Sox in Game 1 of the series against the Yankees, and some big nights for some of the Red Sox players, and that includes Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah, you're right. You know, he kind of flew under the radar last night because David Ortiz had a home run in the game, and Mookie Betts played a very good game. But Jackie Bradley Jr. again with 3 hits in the ball game, and you'll see the first one going off that left field wall out there for a double. And then later on in the ball game, a great defensive play by Bradley, going back on a line drive, and he actually makes his throw to home plate and gets Bird at home plate for the out and get him going by quite a bit. So Bradley's done a great job for the Red Sox since being called up on July 29th. The 326 average, 5 home runs, 24 RBIs for Jackie Bradley Jr. And right now he's playing baseball the way the Red Sox organization thought he would play at the Major League level, and it's fun to watch.
Well, tonight the Red Sox will have Rick Porcello on the mound and try to keep that good starting pitching going as the Red Sox look to get another good outing from Porcello. Last time out, perhaps his best in a Red Sox uniform. Garrett Austin will check in on that situation. We come back to Fenway Park right after this. For Game 2 of the 3-game series between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. Well, the Red Sox started the season with very high hopes for Rick Porcello, who pitched very well for the Detroit Tigers in the past. In fact, the Red Sox made him a better than $80 million deal and signed him to a long-term contract. Well, last time out, he started to pitch like the guy they thought he would. Garrett Austin.
Rick Porcello is coming off one of his best outings of the season at the Chicago White Sox after landing on the disabled list. Porcello pitched for 7 scoreless innings with 5 hits, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. Here's what interim manager Torey Lovullo had to say about that outing and what he expects from him tonight.
Great outing for us in Chicago, and I know that he's in a really good place and looking forward to this start. We'll be able to up his overall pitch count. I think he threw 94, 95 pitches, which was up from 81 in his last rehab outing. And we'll try and get him, as far as we can into this game, and hopefully he's going to continue the strong string of starting pitching that we've been getting recently. We know that Rick is very, very capable of having a great year, and I think there were just some extenuating circumstances that didn't allow him to have the success he wanted, but I think he's learned and he's healthy and he's strong and he's moving in a great direction right now.
Well, it should be a very good pitching matchup tonight from Fenway. Michael Pineda on the mound for the Yankees, 9-8 with a 4.19 ERA. Rick Porcello, 6-11. We're back with the first pitch from Fenway right after this. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Welcome back to Boston on what is a beautiful night tonight for baseball. The Red Sox and the New York Yankees getting ready for Game 2 of the 3-game series as the fans settle in here, and Red Sox try to make it 2 in a row against the Yankees. Last night, a very close game, and in the end, the Yankees had a very good opportunity to at least tie the game, but as it worked out, Boston comes away with the win, and the Blue Jays had also lost, so the Yankees were not able to really gain any ground on the Blue Jays. They remain a game and a half back of the Blue Jays, and again tonight, the Cleveland Indians will be in Toronto at the Rogers Center, so Joe Girardi and his team will be keeping a close eye on that action, as the Red Sox today with the expanding rosters on the September the 1st. A much bigger bench now for Torey Lovullo as Alejandro De Aza was traded last night with cash to San Francisco. Ryan Cook has been recalled. Alan Craig comes back to the Red Sox again as he is selected to the active roster. Sandy Leon, who had cleared waivers earlier this year, back with the Red Sox, and Noe Ramirez back in the Red Sox bullpen. So it's a look at the added players and one subtracted player in the last 24 hours for Boston. Well, the Red Sox have taken the field, so let's check out the New York Yankees starting lineup. It's brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Jacoby Ellsbury leading it off and in center field with Brett Gardner in left field batting second. Carlos Beltran, the right fielder, with Brian McCann doing the catching. Alex Rodriguez, the DH, with Chase Headley at third base. Greg Bird at first base bats seventh with D.D. Gregorius, who had a big night last night. He's the shortstop batting eighth. And Stephen Drew, the former Red Sox infielder, is at second base for New York. The Red Sox starting pitcher, presented by your local New England Audi dealers, Rick Porcello, on the mound for his 22nd start of the year. Comes in at 6-11 with a 5.47 earned run average, 97 strikeouts to 27 walks in his 121 2/3 innings. Last time out, his best outing in a Red Sox uniform, 7 shutout innings. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 5 along the way, beating the White Sox.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are 12th in the league with 81 errors on the season. Pablo Sandoval will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Brock Holt at second. And Travis Shaw the first baseman. Left to right, Jackie Bradley Jr., Mookie Betts, and Rusney Castillo. And Blake Swihart doing the catching for Porcello.
The umpiring crew tonight, Ron Culpa has got the plate tonight, calling the balls and strikes with the crew chief Larry Van Over at first base, Brian Knight at second, and Vic Carapazza, the umpire, at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Very comfortable conditions tonight at Fenway Park. 72 degrees, breeze in from right at 15 miles per hour. And the forecast for more of the same. Clear skies, not a cloud in the sky as we get started tonight from Fenway Park. Lights are on as Rick Porcello ready here to work to the top of the Yankees order in Jacoby Ellsbury, Brett Gardner, and Carlos Beltran.
Porcello in his career has made 9 starts against the Yankees. He's 4-3 with a 3.90 ERA. And a tough customer for Porcello, Ellsbury hitting at .647 against Porcello with 4 home runs.
So Ellsbury ready to lead it off here in the first inning as he stands in. Jacoby hitting at .275 on the year, 7 home runs. The leadoff hitter for the Yankees. And he takes strike one. We're underway. Well, that last outing for Porcello, sinkers were sinking, and he was getting a lot of ground ball outs. The Rick Porcello, I think the Red Sox were anticipating they were getting earlier this season when they signed him to the long-term deal. And they are hoping to have that continue tonight in his second outing off the DL. Another strike over the inside corner. Ellsbury not buying it.
And one thing about Porcello last time out is we look at the Honda Key matchup, Jacoby Ellsbury against Porcello. We gave you those numbers. Porcello last time out, Don, to me, and I think you agree with me, looked free and easy throughout that whole outing against the Chicago White Sox.
Extremely comfortable and much more fluid than we had seen him in the past. There's a 2-hopper bounced out to Brock Holt, and the first out of the ball game. So 1 away, and that'll take us to Brett Gardner. Gardner, who came off the bench in last night's game, back in his starting role tonight in left field. .273 with 12 home runs and 55 runs batted in. Gardner 1 for 1 pinch hitting in last night's game. Pinch hit for Brendan Ryan in the 8th inning. And remained in the game in left field. And he takes strike one.
And Sandoval in tight at third base. Trying to protect against a possible bunt. Gardner will do that, and he runs very, very well.
Yeah, really, the Yankees have 2 leadoff hitters at the top of their order between Ellsbury and Gardner. Sliced foul off to the left, and it's 0-2. Joe Girardi has gone with all that speed at the top of the order. Pretty much all year for Girardi in a lineup that has been highly successful. Gardner strikes out looking, grabs that corner. Nasty pitch there from Porcello. 2 down.
That's that 2-seam fastball that comes back to pick up the inside corner. Porcello had 5 strikeouts in his last outing against the White Sox, and there's the comebacker right there. You see it come back and pick up the inside corner. As left-handers jumping back a little bit. Very good pitch by Porcello.
Two down, and it's strike one to Carlos Beltran, who slides up the order and bats third tonight for the Yankees. 283, 13 homers, and 48 runs batted in for Beltran. Been on a pretty good run, hitting safely in 23 of his last 25 games. And always good numbers against Porcello. 6 for 11, 545 against Porcello. Red Sox shifting on the right side. They bring Sandoval, the third baseman, of the right side. This one fouled back. Look at the hit direction for Beltran. Kind of yanked that one down into the dirt. Porcello retiring Ellsbury and Gardner out of the gate on a ground out and a strikeout. Now 1-2. There's strike three. Nice start for Porcello. Back-to-back Ks to wrap up the top half of the first. Red Sox are coming up. Oh, a nice 1-2-3 first inning for Rick Porcello on 13 pitches. The Red Sox are coming up, and the Red Sox lineup is brought to you by our Eastern Hyundai dealers. Mookie Betts leads it off in center field with Pablo Sandoval in that familiar two-spot now at third base. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop bats third with David Ortiz, the DH. Travis Shaw at first base with Rusney Castillo in right field batting sixth. Brock Holt at second base with Blake Swihart doing the catching and batting eighth. And Jackie Bradley Jr. in left field bats ninth. And Mookie Betts ready to lead it off here for the Red Sox in the bottom of the first inning. Yankees starting pitcher presented by New England Nissan dealers. Michael Pineda, his 21st appearance, 9-8, 4.19 earned run average. He's logged 122 and a third innings and had 120 Ks in those innings. Last time out against Houston, did take the loss. Lasted just 4 1/3, giving up 6 hits and 5 runs. To an Astros team that now has a 4-game lead atop the American League West. Ground ball to shortstop. Gregorius throws out Betts for the first out of the bottom of the first inning.
The Yankees defense is brought to you by DraftKings, 9th in the league with 79 errors. Chase Headley at third base, Didi Gregorius the shortstop, Stephen Drew at second, and Greg Bird the first baseman. Left to right, Brett Gardner, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Carlos Beltran, and Brian McCann doing the catching for Pineda.
One down here in the first inning, and it brings up Pablo Sandoval.
Pineda spent some time on a disabled list. He had a forearm muscle strain that put him on the DL.
He missed a total of 25 games. Made 2 rehab starts. Softly to second, and Stephen Drew handles out number 2. Getting in that time on Sandoval, who grounds out.
It looked like a cut fastball that time for Pineda, and really jammed Sandoval on that for the ground ball to second base. I don't think it was meant to be a cut fastball, but it acted like one as it got in the hands of Sandoval.
2 down here in the first inning for Xander Bogaerts. He'll take a strike over that outside corner. Xander starting the night hitting at .315, 4 homers and 61 runs batted in. Leads the majors with a .340 average since May the 31st. And a swing and a miss. It almost acts like a breaking ball the way that fastball runs at 93 miles an hour.
Yeah, fastball's really taking off here in the first inning. See the breakdown on the pitches. 33% breaking balls, 8% changeups. 1 changeup so far in this game.
Bogaerts fouling it back, and it hangs at 0-2.
Also has very good control in 122 innings, only 16 walks with 120 strikeouts.
No-2 pitch. That'll skip in. McCann knocks it down. Alex Spear, the Boston Globe, will be joining us in a bit. Notes that he hasn't walked a batter in 8 of his starts this year, tied for 3rd most in the American League. 1-2 pitch. And Bogaerts grounds it towards short. Gregorius coming in, and he'll have no play. Kind of changed direction on him on the way in. And Bogaerts with good speed down the lines got himself an infield hit.
Yeah, it certainly did. It kicked off to his right just a little bit. You'll see him charging here. And once it does that, that kind of throws his timing off. And from that point there, could not get a grip on the baseball out of the glove. And Bogaerts has himself a base hit. I don't think he expected the bounce to stay down low like that.
So 2 down. Bogaerts at first base. Into the shift go the Yankees on the right side on Big Papi. Sitting on 495 home runs and now 29 home runs this year. 80 RBIs to go along with the 267 average. And Ortiz takes strike 1. Swing and a miss, down and in. And last night breaking a 2-2 tie by leading off the bottom of the 4th inning with his 29th home run of the year. Home run number 495. Also is his 47th regular season home run against the Yankees. 46 of them coming as a member of the Red Sox.
Seems like the Yankees and Toronto, the 2 teams that he is absolutely worn out with home runs.
220 career games against the Yankees. Those 47 home runs I mentioned. Also up over 300 in his career against the Yankees. Swing and a miss, and Pineda strikes out Ortiz to end the first inning. Through 1 from Fenway without a score. Cancer Awareness Month, and before tonight's game, the Red Sox honored those afflicted by childhood cancer and recognized them with Going Gold, wearing gold shirts and ribbons that acknowledge the heroic battle with cancer. In observance of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, at the end of the third inning, we will stay right here in the park with a live ceremony to commemorate these heroic children and their families. So hopefully you'll stay along with us for that as we play along here to the second inning, and Brian McCann leading it off here against Rick Porcello. The one pitch missing, and it's a ball and a strike.
Hey, you might have noticed the last couple of nights that Teixeira has not been in the lineup. He's got a bone bruise.
We've seen Greg Bird at first base in his absence.
And that bone bruise on his right foot.
A curveball broken out there by Porcello for strike two. Strike three. And there's 3 strikeouts in a row for Porcello.
Well, he's done that a couple of times, and those left-handers bring that two-seamer back on the corner, and he does it again to McCann. It's a very difficult pitch. It's one that, the lefties will quit on. You get a little tail on it back to the corner, and you're just kind of frozen. You think it's going to be inside, but it's not.
Well, 3 strikeouts in a row, all called third strikes, as Alex Rodriguez takes a look at one right down the middle. A-Rod at .256 on the year, 26 home runs, 71 runs batted in. Down 0-2.
Porcello working at a very quick clip here early in the ball game.
Alex Rodriguez with 680 home runs in his career. A little bit low that time, 1-2. Ranks 4th on baseball's all-time list with the 680. Too far inside, 2-2.
So far, 4 pitches, nothing but fastballs to Rodriguez.
So Chase Headley waiting on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to A-Rod. Hits him twice, but he's in the box. Yankees on the road are 35-32 away from Yankee Stadium. 11 games over 500 at home at 37-26. These 72 victories on the season for New York. Good season series for A-Rod. And a swing and a miss. How about 4 strikeouts in a row for Rick Porcello?
And he's really doing a great job keeping those fastballs inside. He goes inside to the right-hander that time, Rodriguez, and gets the swing and miss. So lefties, he's going inside too with the fastball. Right-handers inside too. Very impressive so far.
Nick Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. 2 down in the inning, and there is strike 1 to Chase Headley. This looks like a new guy, Rick Porcello. Last 2 outings have been amazing. And tonight's has started very, very well. Late swing and a foul off to the left. With the 2 strikes, Sandoval heads to the right side of the infield from third base. Oh, 2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. 5 strikeouts in a row for Porcello. He's got it going on. The ceremonial first pitch. Jordan will be playing in the Deutsche Bank Championship at TPC Boston and Norton this Friday through Monday. Jordan, of course, winning the Masters and the U.S. Open this year.
That's a pretty good year, isn't it?
Yes, it is indeed. A pretty good game so far tonight for Rick Porcello out of the gate. He has retired all 6 Yankees he has faced through the first 2 innings, 5 by way of the K. And here is Travis Shaw. We'll take a pitch outside for ball 1. Shaw, Castillo, and Holt to bat here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. On the ground to the backhand, picked by Greg Bird. He'll take it himself to the bag. Pineda was there, but he didn't need him. Well, the first 5,000 fans who attend the Paw Sox Rochester game at McCoy Stadium on Friday will receive a collector's edition Paw Sox baseball card set. It's always a popular item, so make sure you grab your tickets today at pawsox.com. One down in the 2nd inning for Rusney Castillo. 288, 5 homers, and 25 runs batted in. Rusney getting the start in right field tonight with Jackie Bradley Jr. in left field. Ground ball headed to short. Gregorius, nice pick, turns and fires. Good, solid throw right there. Got a lot on it, and it gets Rusney Castillo 2 down.
Yeah, Gregorius covering an awful lot of ground here, going up the middle, and then that spin toward first base, or I should say away from first base, and the throw going in that direction. Very nice play by the Yankee shortstop.
A big night last night offensively. That turns in a nice defensive play. 2 down here in the 2nd inning, and brings up Brock Holt. 280 with 2 homers, 37 runs batted in for the Red Sox All-Star. Line and cut by Gregorius. A 1-2-3 2nd inning for Pineda. We head to the 3rd without a score.
The 3rd and 5 straight strikeouts for Porcello. Fastballs, all of them. Gardner inside there to Beltran. He gets McCann on a fastball. A-Rod down and in. And then Headley elevating against him to pick up the strikeout. Everything on a fastball from Porcello, all good movement on that sinking fastball with the exception of one that he elevated.
Well, career high, 5 consecutive strikeouts for him, and it's strike 1 to Greg Bird. Great to have Alex Spear, the Boston Globe, alongside. Alex, it's always great to see you.
Well, thanks.
This is the guy I think they thought they were getting.
Certainly the one they hoped they were getting. It looked like last year Porcello really made some strides in figuring out how to punch guys out. He had been always a pitch-to-contact guy. Last year, that strikeout rate took a little bit of an elevated turn, in part because he was using that really good two-seamer, like the one that just ran away from Bird there, and then he was complementing it by beating guys above the strike zone with the four-seamer. So that's what we just saw with Headley getting punched out on that 94-mile-an-hour four-seamer.
Out to right, and Castillo runs it down for the first out of the inning.
But he was able to set up Headley because everyone had to respect what the sinker has been doing. And this year, he just hasn't had that balance. He hasn't had too many of the games where he's been able to lean primarily on the two-seam sinking fastball and run it away from hitters, and then once they're looking down, to bust that fastball up in the zone away past them. I thought that last start was kind of a platform to some of what we're seeing this time around. I think he threw like 65 fastballs, of which more than 3/4 of them were two-seamers last time. But the four-seamers, almost 1/3 of them ended up getting swings and misses last time around. So we're kind of seeing that formula for him working once again tonight.
Alex, we're seeing kind of a preview of what might happen. We're seeing the young outfielders out there just about every day now, and soon we're going to see Hanley Ramirez at first base. What do you think about that going forward?
Well, I first wonder how soon we'll see Hanley at first base. Now, they would love to see him there, and really, they need to know how he looks there, because as rocky as the transition was from the left side of the infield to the outfield this year, they have to figure out.
Oh, my goodness. Bogarts lays it out, and his throw is going to be late, but what a play. Nice bid by Xander. Too much speed for Gregorius.
Wow, what a play by Bogarts going up the middle. I've been going wow all season long with this kid, and he makes another terrific play. But you're right, Don, just too much speed from Gregorius getting down that line. But that's a heck of an effort by Xander Bogarts.
Explosive range to his left. And, laterally last year, from side to side, you just wouldn't see him getting those kinds of breaks on the ball that would permit him to reach those balls that were kind of shooting straight over the second base bag. So, you've been all over it throughout this year. You would be in better position to appreciate the ability, great infield work, and kind of the breakthrough that he's been making there. But wow is probably an appropriate reaction to it. But getting back to the question of the outfield and Hanley. So Hanley has to get healthy in order to be able to play first base. The Red Sox would love to see that happen. But they need to be able to evaluate him at first base to figure out if there's something viable there, if there's part of a solution going forward for him being at first base. And what Torey Lovullo said today was that the current outfield configuration that we see with Jackie Bradley and Mookie Betts and Rusney Castillo, not necessarily in the positions they're occupying tonight, but those three guys have earned kind of the opportunity to start together going forward. That leaves Hanley Ramirez not starting again in the outfield this year. And I think, we've kind of seen why. That's been a real defensive struggle for him throughout the year. One that is too costly to be able to. I don't think that you can repeat the experiment, on good faith that with the benefit of an off season and that time away that he might get better, because the consequence of it not working out is just too extreme.
September call-ups today, and a new roster down for the Red Sox, an expanded roster is there, as this one is lined to second and picked by Holt to second for one, on to first for two. Double play. You can stay another inning, or you
absolutely.
All right, Alex Spear will be back with us.
The third inning, and what do we talk about down all the time from the ground up? And that's exactly what Brock Holt does right there. Look at no slide by Gregorius at second base because he was heading back to first, and Bogaerts did the right thing by letting it fly right by him. There's a throw by Bogaerts, even though there was no slide, right over the top of the head, and that's how come they get the double play.
Now, Rick Porcello is certainly appreciative of the effort there by Brock Holt, reducing that 4 to 6 to 3 twin killing, and it's on to the bottom of the third inning. Blake Swihart leading it off here in the bottom of the third. Alex Spear, the Boston Globe, joining us. We just start talking about the guys coming up. Is there anybody in particular that has now joined the Red Sox that you're going to keep an eye on?
Well, I think that Alan Craig is going to be a subject of considerable fascination whenever he gets a chance to play, because obviously the way in which he's performed in his first, roughly the equivalent of a third of a season of games on the field with the Red Sox is what absolutely no one expected. And this is kind of the last. I'm not sure if I should say the last opportunity, but he has a chance to show that the struggles that he's endured up to this point are something that are not representative of who he is as a player going forward. But that's going to be a pretty tough bill to fit, since he doesn't have a clear everyday role. Maybe you end up platooning him a little bit with Travis Shaw. But he's someone who really needs to reestablish his ability to perform at the highest level, because it's been a while since we've seen him being that elite hitter that he was from 2011 to 2013. And you guys remember how feared, how formidable he was as a presence in that Cardinals lineup in the 2013 World Series.
How did AAA go for him?
It was there was a better approach. There was more contact. He was hitting for average to a degree. He was certainly getting on base and working walks, kind of controlling at-bats. But the power that he used to be known for, the doubles power with the occasional home run pop, was rarely on display. He had a slugging percentage that was well below 400, which from a corner infielder / corner outfielder, that's not what you're looking for. You are looking for a guy who can drive the ball a little bit more. So that was certainly, that separated him from what he had been in that kind of prior part of his career with the Cardinals. But he was definitely getting the barrel of the bat on the ball with greater frequency than he had been with the Red Sox while he was down in AAA.
I got a Yankee question for you. Yankees or Toronto? What do you think?
It's different. Once you see that Teixeira is on the sidelines and there's kind of no ETA for when he's going to return. I know that Greg Bird is a terrifically talented young player, but once he had been, Teixeira and A-Rod had been such linchpins of everything that they were doing early in the season.
He's going to grab some wall. Bradley's going to hurry to second base, and he'll get there without a problem standing. It's a one-out double for Jackie Bradley Jr.
I love the way Jackie Bradley is letting that left field wall become his friend, because that makes all the difference in the world. We saw him last year try to hook and pull everything, and a lot of those pitches right there would be rollover ground balls to second base. Now he's taking that pitch, he's taking it to the opposite field, he's using the left field wall, and got himself a double after getting 3 hits last night. So, I mean, he's on fire right now.
It's amazing to see how many extra bases he's racking up. I think that I think that he's right around 18 extra base hits this year in what's been roughly 40 games in the big leagues. I think he had 22 extra base hits all of last year in almost a full season in the majors. It's a pretty stunning departure.
Sharply hit, picked at third in the air off the bat of Betts. Nicely done by Chase Headley for the second out of the inning.
Well, third basemen always stay low to the ground. That's how they start, and sometimes that's how they finish, and that's exactly what happened with Headley right there. Low crouching, went down to get that line drive before it hit the dirt.
Headley's long been known as one of the best third basemen in the game. It's one of the reasons why he and Pablo Sandoval actually kind of emerged as the clear-cut top of the free agent third base class last offseason. They were both viewed as guys who were capable of delivering a pretty significant defensive impact and possibly offensive impact as well. Neither of them, I think, has performed quite up to expectations of what either team expected from them this year.
Pablo Sandoval batting now, grounded out to second base in the first inning, batting with Bradley Jr. at second base.
Within that, it's of course worth noting that Sandoval has, I think, clearly been moving quite a bit better at third base over the last month or so. He's started to get a little bit more of the explosive movement that characterized him with the Giants and that made him a good defender there.
To left field. Gardner coming in is going to fall for a hit. Going to try and score. Bradley and a bobble out there by Gardner. Bradley will score without a problem. And the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead. Sandoval with a base hit, and the Red Sox jump on top.
Now the advantage with 2 outs, you're off on contact, so there's no question that Bradley's going to be able to score. Here's the bloop and the effort, and it bounces right off the glove of Gardner. But Bradley was going to score anyway because he's off on contact with 2 outs. Gardner tries to backhand the ball, cannot come up with it, so no problem getting the run home from second base. Red Sox have the 1-0 lead. Little slip coming around third for Bradley, but it didn't make any difference.
So Sandoval with a base hit and an RBI picks up his 43rd RBI of the year. Red Sox grab the game's first lead, and here is Xander Bogaerts, 1 for 1 already tonight. Alex, we've been talking about Xander all season long, but there just seems to be a swagger about him, a confidence about him that perhaps we haven't seen before. Right now, he's feeling it.
The closest we saw to it was in 2013 when he came up with all the confidence in the world because he had dominated in AA, he had dominated in AAA, and that was as a 20-year-old. That was someone who was on the fast track and who had never experienced failure in his life. Obviously, last year was a very different life lesson for him. He endured a form of adversity that he's never before encountered, but the evidence of this year suggests, and it was really starting right about this time a year ago, that he separated himself from that 3-month struggle where he had just not been able to get hits for the longest time or make hard contact, had a really good September, and used that as a platform to build upon for this year, to the point where he's now part of this kind of extraordinary group of young shortstops coming up in the American League. And you're right, for him to have that presence that he does as a 22-year-old, for both him and Mookie Betts to have that presence as 22-year-olds who know that they can thrive at the big league level at a time when they're still learning, when other guys are typically in high A or single A, or maybe if they're really good double A, that's a rare combination to have.
Yeah, that's a great point, because a lot of times we forget that, how young these guys are and doing it at the major league level, and how quickly they've learned at the major league level. I mean, we've seen Betts make adjustments on outside pitches, go take that ball to the opposite field or hook it up the middle. We've seen Bogaerts become a completely different player this year than he was a year ago. And you're right, at this age, a lot of guys are still playing minor league baseball.
Yeah, Brock Holt, I was talking to him about Mookie yesterday, and he said, I can't relate. I was in high A. I was 1 year out of college. I've been drafted in the 9th round. I don't know what it's like to be able to succeed in the big leagues while you're still learning about all those elements of the game.
Bogaerts strikes out and ends the inning. Red Sox get a run in the inning. Alex, thank you very much. We appreciate you coming by.
Thanks so much, guys.
Well, we're keeping it right here at Fenway Park. It's great to have Alex Spear with us as always. And we pause here to observe Childhood Cancer Awareness Month here at Fenway Park.
Our 2 cities have come together, brethren in arms, united in spirit. Tonight is one of those moments. For tonight, we join together to raise awareness for childhood cancer, which for all of our progress over the years still remains the disease that takes the lives of more children than all others combined. As we stand up to cancer, we ask you now to please rise and display your gold placards honoring or remembering the innocent children who have bravely battled this unfair fight. Yet fight they do, as heroic researchers relentlessly search for cures, and as loving caregivers bring comfort to these children and their families. Now, as America begins Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, our cameras are showing a golden Fenway Park to a national television audience. It is our golden opportunity to invite everyone to raise awareness and to raise funds. Everyone can help, even if they just give a $1. We thank those who have helped us raise awareness this evening, including Commissioner Manfred and Major League Baseball, Sophia's Fund, Give a $1 Fund, and of course, the Jimmy Fund, our beloved partners of 63 years. We thank all of you here at Fenway Park for participating tonight, and we thank all of you watching across our great nation for helping our children who are so boldly and courageously fighting for their lives.
This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song.
Now, joining us across the nation there as MLB Network here as well tonight at Fenway Park, along with the Yankees telecast, and taking a moment as the Red Sox get ready here for the 4th inning. And so far so good tonight for Rick Porcello. He's now going to lead with the Red Sox on top 1-0. He's got 5 strikeouts through the first 3 innings and a base hit allowed to Didi Gregorius in the infield. The only blemish against him so far in this game. Here's the rundown. For a limited time, sign up for a free checking account with Eastern Bank and get $100. Just text money to 36698. Message and data rates may apply. And we just had Alex Spear on talking about the September call-ups, which are always interesting and always debated. Tonight's poll question presented by the Scion TC. I think rosters should be expanded in September. Text Sox 1 for yes. Text Sox 2 for no. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. 1 message per vote. Visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions and privacy policy. I'm going to say no.
I'm going to agree with you with a little bit of a twist to it. I don't think they should be expanded to 40. I think that you should have to name maybe, let's say, a number of 28 per game that you can activate. You can change those names daily if you'd like, but I don't see any reason why you have to go higher than that. I just don't like the idea of, I think it's unfair to go to a 40-man roster for 1 month of the season.
Yeah, I don't understand how you play under one set of rules for 5 months out of the year and then play under a completely different set of rules for the last month of the year.
I mean, I'm all for rewarding guys that have good years at AAA. I'm all for that. But the fact is, I agree with you, Don. One set of rules.
This is Blue back at first and is going to fall foul. Back to try to grab it was Shaw. Ends up outside the line and foul, fortunately, for Rick Porcello and the Red Sox.
Little bloop just landing barely in foul territory as Shaw couldn't get to it. Ball was not hit high enough for him to make the over-the-shoulder catch as he's showing the dugout right now.
Ellsbury getting his second look at Rick Porcello, grounded out to second base in the first inning. Here is strike 3. Ellsbury doesn't like it at all. 6 strikeouts for Porcello.
El Porcello again with the fastball, this time out over the plate, but down at the knees. And Jacoby Ellsbury thought that ball was a little bit low. He says down. But Culpa says no.
And 1 down here in the 4th inning. Here's Brett Gardner. He struck out looking in the first inning. 0 for 1 against Porcello tonight. In on the grass again, Pablo Sandoval. Really, it doesn't change here from hitter 1 to hitter number 2 in the Yankees order as far as speed goes. And there is a low strike call. Alex talking about Pablo Sandoval and how his range seems to be improving at third base, a little more agile. Would you agree?
I think in particular to his left. He's been very, very good recently going to his left.
Strike 2. Okay, so Porcello has thrown 40 pitches tonight, 32 for strikes, 80% strikes tonight for the Red Sox starter. We'll try a curveball. And it is sharply grounded down to first base. Shaw will take it himself for out number 2. DraftKings.com is paying out over $300 million this baseball season. DraftKings has given out $34 million to Boston residents alone since the site launched. Get your free entry into a one-day fantasy baseball contest today using promo code NESSN. 2 outs in the 4th inning, and it brings up Carlos Beltran. He struck out looking in the first inning. Another low strike call. Sandoval heading over to the right side of the infield. Bogarts back to the left.
Now the bunt not a possibility, so they move Sandoval in that position. They move Bogarts back to the shortstop position where he belongs.
Porcello coming into tonight's outing 6-11 with a 5.47 ERA. 22nd start of the year. And he jumps ahead here, 1-2.
Changeup that time. A couple of changeups in the ball game for Porcello. I think about 3 so far. Picked up a strikeout on a changeup the last inning. There's the changeup grip, and you see the ball turn over and fouled off by Beltran.
Broken bat. Bat goes into the seats as the ball ends up in center field for a base hit. So a 2-out single here for Beltran. Right now, AceTicket.com is having a blowout sale on tomorrow's Red Sox-Yankees game and the Phillies series this weekend. Tickets are half price with tickets starting at just $17. Box seats starting at only $39. Supplies are limited. Ace Ticket, it's more than a ticket. So 2 down, Beltran at first base, and it brings up Brian McCann. Well, McCann will take a strike over the outside corner. And the shift on the right side as Shaw holds on Beltran at first base. It's Bogarts on the right side of the infield right now. Strike 2. Run 3 hits, no errors for Boston. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for New York. Porcello in the midst of a meeting with himself in behind the hill there briefly. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out McCann. 7 strikeouts through 4 innings for Porcello. 1-0 Boston. is here to make your banking and your day easier. See how at easternbank.com. Here, your first Eastern Bank. Now back at Fenway Park, 1-0. Red Sox have the lead over the New York Yankees as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Big Papi, David Ortiz, Travis Shaw, and Rusney Castillo to bat in the fourth. David striking out, swinging in the first. One of 2 strikeouts for Pineda in this game. And a strike over the inside corner.
And quite a few sliders from Pineda to David Ortiz so far. That's how he struck him out back in the first inning. Another slider.
On the ground, foul over by Travis Shaw, waiting on deck. Well, the ACC football season begins on Nesson Thursday night. Be sure to catch the kickoff when Alcorn State visits Georgia Tech. Live Thursday night at 7:30.
Where's Alcorn State?
I don't know. 1-2 pitch is grounded foul over by the Red Sox dugout. I know where Georgia Tech is. I know where that is.
We know where that is.
I've gone by the stadium.
Yeah, we go right by there on the way to Turner Stadium, right?
Turner Field, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Alcorn's also in Atlanta.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
It's a battle of Atlanta. 40th pitch, and it sends Ortiz ducking back. 2-2.
I like Georgia Tech in that one.
I do too. I have a real good feeling about it.
I'm not going to give you a point spread on it, but I like Georgia Tech in that football game.
Ortiz lines it down the right field line, foul. Just out ahead and to the right of the pole down that right field line.
We got controversy now, Don.
Oh no, you got more bad info from the truck again.
Alcorn State is in Mississippi.
That's not Atlanta.
No, so it's not the battle of Atlanta or Georgia or anything like that.
No,
it's
it
a
really
game.
isn't. It really isn't.
Game.
It's a game. And full count now. The truck is at like a 40% correct range with information the last 2 days.
Actually, I gave the bad information.
Oh, okay. Ortiz will pop it up. Foul off third as McCann gives chase, but he'll have no play. David batting here, beginning the bottom of the fourth inning with a full count. We'll see Shaw and Castillo after Ortiz. Maybe got something in his eye and now gets himself settled in on that left side. Pineda waiting patiently. And Ortiz grounds one foul outside of first. There's Travis Shaw waiting on deck. Red Sox getting their run on an RBI single by Pablo Sandoval in the third inning that scored Jackie Bradley Jr. from second base. Payoff pitch. And Ortiz strikes out again. Second time that Pineda's got him tonight. Third strikeout overall for Pineda.
Pineda with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball this time. A lot of pitches, 10 pitches in that at bat, but puts him away with a fastball. It's actually down and out of the strike zone. So he got him with a slider back in the first. A fastball here in the fourth inning.
One down here in the fourth, and it brings up Travis Shaw. Shaw grounded out to his counterpart at first base, Greg Bird, in the second inning. They shift on him on the right side here, do the Yankees. As Pineda falls behind 2-0.
We've seen him before defeat this shift with a ground ball right at shortstop.
Strike at the bottom of the zone that time.
You could tell on that particular pitch there, he was looking for the ball middle in. Got the fastball, but not middle in.
Gregorius back on the outfield grass to make the catch on the soft liner for the second out of the inning. The Celebrity Cruise is the official cruise line of the Boston Red Sox. Join Louis Tion, Jim Rice, Steve Lyons, and more on January 9th as they sail the Caribbean on Celebrity's 2016 Red Sox Fan Cruise. Space is limited. Call 1-888-727-4907 or contact your travel agent today. 2 down in the fourth inning, and it brings up Rusney Castillo. Castillo grounding out to shortstop in the second, 0 for 1. Blue Jays have a 2-1 lead so far tonight over the Indians at the Rogers Center. In the fourth inning north of the border tonight. Game obviously the Yankees keeping an eye on. They are a game and a half back of the Blue Jays right now in the American League East. And both the Blue Jays and the Yankees lost last night. The Jays losing to the Indians, and of course Joe Girardi's team losing here last night. Barely. And what was a lot of drama in the ninth inning here last night as it turned out. Ground ball to short. Gregorius running in. And throwing out Castillo. We're headed to the fifth at Fenway. It's 1-0 Boston. In which they live and work. Tonight we welcome the Emmanuel Church Youth Group from Rochester, New Hampshire to historic Fenway Park. Dunkin' Donuts committed to the community. Well, having a good time tonight. Good ball game so far as we head into the fifth inning. Pitchers duel 1-0. Red Sox have the lead. And Alex Rodriguez leads it off and takes ball one. A-Rod with a strikeout in the second inning. 7 strikeouts for Porcello through the first 4 innings of this game. And a fly ball down the left field line. Bradley Jr. headed over towards the corner, and that's going to get down. Bradley plays the carom and fires back in quickly and holds A-Rod to a long single.
Yeah, Rodriguez actually got jammed on that fastball by Porcello, but he's able to muscle the ball out toward left field. And you can see where Bradley was playing, so he had a long way to go. Plays it on the backhand and holds Alex Rodriguez to the single. There's Rodriguez. He knows he didn't get great contact on that, but it's good placement by Rodriguez.
Now Chase Headley, a strikeout victim in the second inning. He went swinging in the middle of that 5 strikeouts in a row for Porcello. Three hits allowed by Porcello. Didi Gregorius with the infield hit to short in the third. Carlos Beltran with a single to center in the fourth, and now Alex Rodriguez with a single to begin things here in the 5th inning. Well, right now you can get up to 60 months with no interest on anything at Jordan's Furniture. Furnish one room or your entire home. Best of all, you'll get to enjoy it now. Visit Jordans.com for details. Strike 3 call. There is 8 strikeouts now for Rick Porcello. Second time Headley's down by way of the K.
Yeah, and once again inside the 2-seamer. Watch it come back. Right there. 8 strikeouts is a season high for Porcello.
1 out, 1 on. And Greg Bird coming up. Flied out to right field in the 3rd inning. Bird 1 for 5 in the ball game last night. And he carves it foul, leaving the count of 1-1. Single by Alex Rodriguez to begin things here in the 5th inning. Headley struck out. 1 on, 1 out. And a 1-1 pitch to Bird. Holds up and a little bit high.
It's one of the rare 4-seam fastballs that Porcello has thrown tonight.
A lot of strikes tonight. 8 strikeouts in 4 1/3 innings for Porcello. Fouled off to the left, out of play. Swinging a foul tip for strike 3, make it 9 strikeouts for Porcello. 2 down.
Now he's mixing in the cross-seamer as he goes up top with the fastball for the strikeout. So he's got outs with both his 2-seamer, his cross-seamer. This one just continues to rise and kind of catches Bird by surprise.
So 2 down. A-Rod at first base, held on by Shaw. And it brings up Didi Gregorius, who reached on an infield hit in the 3rd inning. One of the 3 Yankees hits off Porcello in the game. Slices it foul off to the left, out of play. Now a 6-game hitting streak with that base hit back in the 3rd inning. 636 during that time. 14 for 22.
That's a streak. That's a real good streak right there.
Sends it inside for ball one. The center fielder Mookie Betts over towards right center. It's twice the fun at Irving Oil. Every weekend through September the 7th, get double the Pump Up the Fun game tickets for even more chances to win in the Irving Oil $5 million summer giveaway. Visit a participating Irving Oil for details. On the ground to first base, under the glove of Shaw, and down the right field line, a fair ball. As Alex Rodriguez to third, to second base goes Gregorius. Shaw had that under control, it appeared, but it ends up under the glove.
If it's an error, and it will be, it'll be the first error that Shaw has made this season. He turns back to look at a spot. I don't know if it hit a divot or something, but underneath the glove clearly of Shaw. And fortunately, Rodriguez is on first base, so he can't score. He won't be able to score on this as Castillo gets to it and gets it back in quickly.
Error charge to Shaw at first base, and now it is second and third. Stephen Drew coming up here with 2 outs. First time the Yankees have had a base runner in scoring position, and right now they have 2. Stephen Drew bounced into a 4-6-3 double play in the third inning. Sharply hit but turned from Holt to Bogarts to Shaw. In the dirt for ball one. 476 since July 23rd for Drew, with runners in scoring position. Works here with A-Rod at third, Gregorius at second. Tying run 90 feet away. And Drew takes ball 2. Top of the order, Jacoby Ellsbury waiting on deck as the Yankees bat here in the top of the 5th. Line towards the gap in left center field. It gets down and rolls to the track and the wall. A-Rod scores. Gregorius behind him. Drew's got himself a 2-run double, and the Yankees take a 2-1 lead. Well, the error very costly by Travis Shaw.
For the most part of this game, it's been good pitches made by Porcello, but that changeup right there stays up in the zone, and Drew, for the second time tonight, hits the ball very hard. First time turned into a double play. This time it turns into 2 runs. They write down the error at first base really hurts this inning, and Drew makes him pay for the mistake.
So 2 down, Drew at second base. Now Jacoby Ellsbury with a chance. Yankees center fielder is grounded out to second and struck out.
That's the ball that got underneath the glove of Shaw right there that allowed the inning to continue, and Stephen Drew makes the Red Sox pay for that mistake.
On the ground softly to Holt. He will flip to first for the out that ends the inning, but the damage done. Yankees score twice, take a 2-1 lead. Let's check out the Red Sox box score. pharmaceutical plants throughout the Northeast. Did you know FW Web did that? Learn more about this proud Boston Red Sox sponsor at fwweb.com. And Stephen Drew driving in a pair, and the Yankees taking a 2-1 lead to the bottom of the 5th inning. Red Sox with work to do now. Bottom third of their order coming up. Brock Holt, Blake Swihart, and Jackie Bradley Jr. There's Pineda with the lead for the first time in the game. Holt lined out to the shortstop, Didi Gregorius, in the 2nd inning. Shoots it foul down the left field line, down 0-2. We'll see Dennis Leary, Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Wright, and more at the 21st Annual Comics Come Home at the TD Garden on Saturday, November the 7th. Proceeds benefit the Cam Neely Foundation for cancer care. For tickets, visit Ticketmaster.com. Oh-2. And a grounder foul over by the on-deck circle. Four in a row now retired by Pineda. And a 1-2-3 4th inning, and dealing with Holt to begin things here in the bottom of the 5th. Swing and a miss on a pitch down and in, and Holt strikes out. It's 4 Ks now for Pineda.
Yeah, very good slide at that time from Pineda. He's had a good one all night long. Keeps it, buries it down and into the left-handed hitter. And again, as I mentioned many times, that becomes really a blind spot for a hitter when you get it down and off the plate and low. You see it, then you lose it.
One down here in the 5th for Blake Swihart. He grounded back to Pineda in the 3rd inning. You don't want to be down in the game as you get to the later portions of the game against this Yankees bullpen with Betances and Miller at the back end. This one fouled off down the left field line, out of play. Toyo Tires, the official tire of the Boston Red Sox. Whether you're taking your truck off-road, the kids to practice, or your sports car to its limits, there's a Toyo Tire for you. Visit toyotires.com to find a dealer near you. Andrew Bailey down there as well for the Yankees. This one fouled off over into the Red Sox dugout. So both Miller and Bailey, former Red Sox relievers.
Yeah, Bailey just called up today from AAA. Yankees added quite a few members to their roster today with the call-ups.
Swihart now. Bradley Jr. next. 5 in a row, retired by Pineda. Fouled off to the left, out of play. Pineda only lasting 4 1/3 last time out, giving up 5 runs to the Houston Astros through 71 pitches in those 4 1/3 innings. He's gone 4 1/3 here tonight. Tune in to Bruins Summer Face-Off Live tomorrow at 8. Billy Jaffe and Andy Brickley will break down the Bruins' depth on the blue line. You'll hear from the team captains as well. Bruins Summer Face-Off Live is presented by your New England Nissan dealers. One out in the 5th inning. Blake Swihart waiting on a 1-2 pitch. And he gets a piece to stay alive.
McCann thought he had that ball in his glove, in the webbing of the glove, but he took a peek in there, but had the ball got away. Slider again that time, and almost controlling it was McCann. Shakes off the changeup, wants the fastball.
1-2 pitch fouled back, still 1-2. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors now for New York. A run, 3 hits, and an error for Boston. 9th pitch of the at bat, and Swihart went around and strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Pineda. 2 down in the 5th inning.
And once again, it's the slider, and 3 of his strikeouts tonight on the slider. Ortiz, Holt, and now Swihart on the breaking ball. Cannot control the head of the bat. Well, the barrel of the bat, I should say, and the strikeout right there. So Pineda with good stuff tonight in this ball game.
2 down for Jackie Bradley Jr. Doubled in the 3rd inning. Torey Lovullo was asked before the game if he gave some consideration to moving Jackie Bradley Jr. up the lineup now that he is hitting so well, and here he is hitting 9th again in this ball game. And he said, right now, just leaving him where he's at, let him be, and continue to settle in and do what he's doing offensively. The 1 pitch, and that's lined into left field. Gardner over to cut it off, sliding and throwing towards second base, but Bradley will be safe, and he stays on the bag. Almost came off. A 2-out double, second double of the night for Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah, why mess with it? Right down. I mean, you got a guy swinging the bat as well as he is in the 9 spot. You get some production from the bottom of the lineup. Another line drive here going the opposite way for Bradley. And another double. 2 doubles in the ball game for him so far. Jackie Bradley knowing that because of where the outfielders were that he's got a chance for 2 on this, and obviously he makes that decision on his own. You know, you make contact and you know where those outfielders are playing. You can see where the ball is, and you know you got a chance for 2 bases. You don't really need help from a first base coach on that.
So a 2-out runner at second base now for Boston. Here's Mookie Betts. He is grounded out to short, lined out to third. 0 for 2 in the ball game. Strike call. Top of the zone at 93 on the fastball. Foul back, 0-2.
Last night, Mookie Betts getting that pitch from Nova, fastball right down the heart of the plate, and taking it into the monster seats for home run number 13 on the season.
Pineda struck out Holt. He struck out Swihart. Gives up a double to Bradley Jr. Now an 0-2 pitch to Mookie Betts. And Betts lifts it foul and out of play, off to the right. It's time for tonight's Twisted But True Fact. Mookie Betts is the only American League player to hit 30-plus doubles, 5-plus triples, and 10-plus home runs this season. Twisted Tea is the hard iced tea. Tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. Two down, Jackie Bradley Jr. at second base, and Mookie Betts waiting on an 0-2 pitch. Foul back again.
Another pretty good pitch right there to Betts, and I think he'd like to have that one back again. A little conversation now between McCann and Pineda. They wanted to go outside, but he didn't get the ball nearly as far outside as he wanted to. And that drew the conference at the mound.
Pablo Sandoval waiting on deck. Pineda having to work a little harder here in this, the 5th inning, than he has the rest of the night. Oh, 2 again. And there's strike 3. Freezing Betts ending up. And Pineda strikes out the side through 5. 2-1 New York. Your low fare now at southwest.com. 2-1. Yankees have the lead over the Red Sox as we send it down to Guerin.
Thanks, Don. As you guys have mentioned, Jackie Bradley Jr. has been on fire. Interim manager Torey Lovullo said you can just look at him to know that he's at a different place right now. Lovullo said Bradley is holding his shoulders very tall, and he's walking a little bit higher these days. And he said you can just really see that confidence in his whole body. Guys, Lovullo said it's really easy to pull for a guy like Bradley when you know how much work he's put in and you just want to enjoy the ride with him.
Well, it's been fun to watch as this pitch in the dirt from Porcello, and certainly a different stint in the majors this time around for Jackie Bradley Jr.
By far the best on him. We talked about that quite a bit, and the fact that when you have a little success, you have a little confidence, and when you have a little confidence, you play better baseball in any sport, matter of fact. And that's what's going. Look out, Jackie! There's some sort of
insect was on the way by.
747. Couple of doubles in the game for him tonight as he goes to the opposite field in his first at bat off the bottom of the wall. Also goes to the opposite field again, this time in the gap to pick up the double. But it had to be awfully tough on him to know at the minor league level that you could play at the big league level. But every time you got up here, it just didn't happen for you. The bat just did not happen for him, and now it's happening. And it's happening in a big way for him right now. And Chili Davis has a lot to do with that. Jackie Bradley Jr. has a lot to do with that. And he's playing with tremendous amount of confidence. And when you get a little confidence, look out.
1-2 is popped up foul off to the left out of play. There was a point where you sort of felt like he fell completely off the depth chart. I mean, you weren't hearing his name as much anymore.
Exactly right. I mean, and it was sad because you're watching this perennial Gold Glove outfielder play. I'm telling you, as good as I've ever seen, and just could not get it going offensively.
Strike 3 call. That is 10 strikeouts for Rick Porcello. It's time for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Tom? All right, Tom, thanks very much. A strikeout by Porcello, the 10th of the night here He's one shy of his career high, which is 11. Did that in a Tigers uniform against the Pittsburgh Pirates back May 28th of 2013. But a 10 strikeout performance here tonight. Most of you had in a Red Sox uniform was 7. Shift on. It's Bogarts on the right side of the infield. Retires Beltran. 2 down. Well, don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings live right after the game. TC Eck and Steve Lyons will break down tonight's game. You'll hear from Rick Porcello. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason?
Don, just to get back to Bradley for a second, you know, when you come to the big league level and you have trouble hitting, you've got everybody in your ear telling you what you're doing wrong. And it becomes so confusing to you that, you know, you don't know who to listen to. You don't know what to do. And that's almost like a point that he got to, you know, because everybody becomes a hitting coach when you're bad. And you got to really shut out a lot of people and say, wait a minute, I got to focus on this myself. I got to find one person that's going to help me, and I got to stick with a plan. Because it's amazing how many guys become hitting coaches. Oh, everybody knows.
Guys that aren't even hitting coaches.
I see this, I see that, I see this, you know, and your head is spinning, and you don't know what, finally you don't know what you're doing.
From teammates, everybody.
Everybody. Oh yeah, teammates. You get letters, people telling you how to hit. You get, you might have 4 different coaches who are telling you how to hit, and that's not right. That's not supposed to be, but it just happens.
Shift on again, and Holt on the right side. He'll throw out McCann, and Porcello has a 1-2-3 6th inning. 2-1 Yankees. In 32nd game, the Red Sox lost to the A's 7-6. Reggie Jackson homered for Oakland as Yaz also went deep for Boston.
That last inning, Pineda striking out the 3 Red Sox batters. He got Holt with a slider in the 5th inning for a strikeout. He got Swihart also on a slider, and then he gets Mookie Betts on a fastball. Bradley had the double after the 2nd strikeout, but ended the inning with the strikeout to Mookie Betts.
Pitching line is brought to you by your area Lexus dealers. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. It's earned, no walks, 6 Ks. There's pitch 74, and it's fouled back by Pablo Sandoval. Justin Wilson just starting to warm up. That's his first warm-up toss in the pen. Sandoval, Bogarts, and Ortiz here in the 6th inning. And Pablo rips this foul. He is grounded out to second base and singled to left, driving in a run, picking up his 43rd RBI of the year. Foul again down by the tarp. Well, don't miss the excitement of the Bruins and Celtics this season. Single game suites are now on sale. It's an ideal way for groups of 18 to 60 fans to enjoy a game. For additional info, visit tdgarden.com/suite rentals or call the number on your screen.
She's blushing because she's on Nesson.
0-2 pitch fouled off to the left out of play up to the grandstand. Outfield deep and straight away on Sandoval from left to right. Sandoval lines one, foul just out of the reach of Bird diving at first base.
Yeah, Bird is playing fairly close to that line at first base and just missed catching that foul ball on the line. Another breaking ball with Sandoval. That's about 3 sliders in a row that he's got and pulling them all foul.
Bird filling in for one of the game's best defensive first basemen in Mark Teixeira. Bone Bruce has him out of the lineup for New York. 0-2 is fought off foul above the Yankees dugout. Get immediate care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. First aid station behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. Sandoval 1 for 2 in the game. 80th pitch. And it's on the ground left side. Headley, a little spin on it. But he throws out Sandoval for the first out of the bottom of the 6th inning. Pineda's been pretty good tonight. Working here into the 6th inning now with 1 down. Doing some stretching in behind the hill.
Yeah, much better than his last outing, which lasted only 4 1/3, giving up 5 earned runs. That was against the Houston Astros.
Guess the Astros are for real, Jerry.
I think we can say that. I think we can say that.
You got a 4-game lead now over Texas back in the mix. The Angels have really gone the wrong direction there. They're now 7.5 games back of the Houston Astros in the West. At one point they had gotten back in first place ahead of the Astros, but now they are sliding.
Game under 500 for the Angels.
Pitch down low, and it's 1-1.
They haven't been the same since I left.
Since you left where?
The Angels.
Oh. When was that? 1978?
Yeah. They've had a couple of pretty decent years since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1-1 pitch, a swing and a miss. I thought you meant like last time we were there.
No.
No. Much further before.
As a matter of fact, when I was there, we didn't have very good years at all.
Oh.
So they really
so maybe it was really before you.
Yeah.
Outside, 2-2. Xander with an infield hit in the first inning to short, struck out swinging in the third, and this is in the dirt now. There it is. One-time captain of the Angels.
Yeah, tops all-star, all rookie team, see?
And you're ready to bunt.
Yeah, Gary Streisky hair, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Flowing. You get some good sideburns going there, too.
Yeah, pretty good chops.
Yeah. And notice how you have the bat at the top of the zone. This is a pop-up into shallow right. Out goes Drew. He'll give way to the outfield, and It's Carlos Beltran who makes the catch, 2 down.
Trying to think. I just was asked the question by the truck if I ever shaved the mustache off, and
you have. I saw it.
I did once.
Very early when we worked together. I think it might have been before my first year. You came in from a vacation to Aruba.
Yes.
And you didn't have the mustache, and I wasn't sure who you were because you're you kind of know you.
I knew they'd come back into style sooner or later. You know, Joe Kelly's got a mustache now.
Yeah,
so,
looks good.
Yeah,
but
I go right through trends. I just right through.
And it'll come back again.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, everybody's going to have one soon. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, you look through them.
Yeah, not really. A goatee in the off season is about as much as you're going to get.
I shaved it off, and my wife didn't like the idea that it was shaved off, so I grew it back, and I still look like a chipmunk, but I really look like a chipmunk then.
I have to say, it really didn't look like you at all. I mean, it's amazing how that little patch of moss can change everything. I mean, you take that away, and it's almost like, I mean, you're not even Jimmy Remy. You're like Joey Remy or something.
Jimmy Remy was the worst. That was the worst ever.
Those pictures are never going to go away. They pop up all the time.
Oh, it's horrible.
This is in tight to David Ortiz. David has struck out twice tonight. Once in the first, once in the fourth. 6 strikeouts for Pineda on the night. And 2 belong to Big Papi.
Well, he's seen a lot of sliders from Pineda tonight. Not many fastballs at all for David to work on tonight. He shakes off the slider, wants the fastball.
Fouls it off into the crowd. Rothschild had been out to the mound, so 1 trip out there already this inning. He has been doing a lot of stretching tonight. Behind the mound a bit, and 90th pitch. And a swing and a miss. How about that hack by Ortiz? 2-2.
That time he did get the fastball at 94 miles an hour. And you can see him leaving a little bit too soon that time, of course, thinking about home runs, and every once in a while that shoulder will fly open a little bit early.
Close pitch, ball 3. Travis Shaw on deck with 2 down here in the Boston 6th inning. Ortiz strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. Pineda has a 1-2-3 6th. Yankees have a 2-1 lead. moment. On this date 8 years ago, Clay Buchholz threw a no-hitter against the Orioles. Buchholz struck out 9 batters in his second career start and led Boston to a 10-0 win over the Orioles. And Nick Markakis on a curveball to end the no-hitter for Clay Buchholz. This one fouled off to the right out of play. What a night that was, Jerry. The no-hitter for Buchholz.
Yep. Very few of those in a row, but they're always special to watch.
The opportunity to call 3 Hideo Nomos, Clay Buchholz, and John Lesters. And certainly Lesters and Buchholz, to me, are the more special because they're right here at Fenway Park. As Bogarts with a high throw, but Shaw is tall, and there's one away. Rick Porcello's pitching line is brought to you by Ace Tickets. 6 1/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, neither earned. He hasn't walked anybody and struck out 10, one shy of his career high, which is 11. There's one out in the 7th, and here's Chase Headley. He struck out twice. Curveball missing a tad low. Shifting are the Red Sox on the right side for now. Sandoval is alone on the left side. Five in a row retired by Porcello. Eight ground ball outs to go along with the 10 strikeouts that he has. First 3-ball count of the night for him, as now Sandoval does go to the right side. They readjust that shift. And there is ball 4, the first walk given up by Porcello. Well, stay tuned for Red Sox Final presented by Uno's. TC Eck and Steve Lyons will have an update on the AL East race. One out, one on. And Greg Bird coming up here, 0 for 2. Runs outside for ball 1. Porcello missing the strike zone each of the last 5 pitches. This one slap foul off to the left out of play. And center fielder bets over towards right center here on Bird for him to pull. Left-handed hitting first baseman for the Yankees. Red Sox infield at double play depth here with one down, a runner at first. And a swing and a miss.
Very good changeup that time for Porcello. 82 miles an hour. He's had a good changeup tonight. He's left a couple up in the zone, but for the most part, very good. That one, real good.
A-Rod grounded out to short to begin the inning. Chase Headley with a walk, one out, one on. And a 2-2 pitch coming here to Greg Bird. Bouncing in, gathered by Swihart. First full count of the night for Rick Porcello. Didi Gregorius waiting on deck. Yankees batting here in their half of the 7th inning. Runner goes, and a ground ball foul. Well, this summer experience Cirque Eloise ID. Hip hop meets West Side Story in a show-stopping performance that's been keeping audiences on their toes for more than 20 years. Foxwoods, the official casino and resort of the Boston Red Sox. Book your tickets at foxwoods.com.
That show's been around for 20 years.
20 years, Jerry.
Hip hop's been around for 20 years.
I don't know about hip hop, but Cirque Eloise ID. Strike 3. Greg Bird down by way of the K, tying a career high as Rick Porcello with his 11th strikeout.
Well, we've seen it over and over again, that fastball inside that's going to tail back, and this one's a little bit higher, top of the strike zone, but again picks up the corner. And you can see it very clearly on your screen how as it comes back just a little bit, little movement on it to make it a strike.
It's a lane changer.
That's the lane changer, right, Don? You stole that.
2 down.
Kleptomaniac.
Chase Headley at first base. Didi Gregorius standing in. He is singled, reached on a 2-base error. And came around to score the Yankees' second run. It was a big error, as it turned out, by Travis Shaw. Opened the door for Stephen Drew to drive in the 2 runs. Four pitches total now, reaching his average. Ways to go to get to the high for Rick Porcello. With 2 outs here in the 7th inning. To right field, Rusney Castillo coming in a few steps. Will make the catch, below the cap high to end the top of the 7th. 7th inning stretch, 2-1 New York. Looks like Pineda may be done for the night, as 95 pitches through the first 7 innings. You get the jacket. This team's got a 2-1 advantage, as this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Kia. I guess he is done, Jerry.
Very done.
Yeah, I think he's done. You know, I know, because there's a new pitcher.
Yeah.
It's Justin Wilson.
Very observant.
60 of the parents. He's 4-0 with a 3.23. I saw him with his jacket and his stuff, and I'm thinking, he's definitely out of the game.
Yeah.
You know, and then I looked up, and there's another guy on the mound for the Yankees. Well, Travis Shaw leads it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Taking anything by me. In there for strike 2.
No, once you focus in on something, I mean, you've got it.
I was on that.
You know, and the reason Pineda's probably out of there is not because of pitch count, because of the fact he's just coming off the DL a couple of starts now, and I think they're being very careful with his pitches.
There was also somebody else on the mound. The 0-2 pitch is in the dirt.
The lefty.
So it ends up that Pineda ends on a pretty good note, too. He had a 1-2-3 6th inning. Able to get Sandoval, Bogarts, and Ortiz. More action for New York. Dylan Betances up in the pen. Shaw lets it go, and it is now 2-2. It's time now for some Sox culture, brought to you by Kettle One Vodka. Travis Shaw's favorites movie, The Town, and what a movie that was. TV show, How I Met Your Mother, music, Rihanna, and his favorite app is Flappy Bird. Not sure I know what the Flappy Bird is. There's a swing and a miss, and Shaw strikes out. Jerry, have you seen The Town?
No, I just listened to it. I didn't watch it. I listened to it because you're in it. Yeah. Your voice is in it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
That's right.
Oh, that's now that you mention it. You're right. I guess I was in that. I totally forgot. Sometimes you forget.
Well, you've done so many, you forgot. That you were in The Town.
Yeah,
you've done so many pictures.
One of the films. Still in between scripts right now. I haven't found one that jumps out at me yet. This is fouled off to the right, out of play. Looking for my next project, and just nothing's jumped out at me yet. As I said before, I'd love to work with Bobby De Niro. Finding time for Bobby to do a film with, it's tough.
If you do something with De Niro, I want it to be a gangster movie.
Okay. This is to third. It's picked by Headley. And his throw is in time to get Rusney. 2 down in the 7th inning.
You
want to be in it.
No, I don't want to be in it.
I thought you did want to be in it if I did something with Bobby.
They showed me between innings, Jimmy.
Yes. Hysterical. It was a midlife crisis of epic proportions, I think.
But the fact is, I was not in a midlife crisis.
No?
I don't know what I was doing. And look at this.
Whoa. I have a goatee, too, for some reason. I don't know what's going on there. I'm also trying to hit. I don't know what's going on. But I'm looking at your mod. See, you could be a gangster.
That's horrible.
To shortstop. Gregorius can't get it, and it's through. Brock Holt on here with 2 outs in the 7th inning.
That hair is darker than my baseball card when I was 22 years old.
You chose to really make it dark.
Now, what would make me think that nobody would notice that? What would make me? I can't even imagine.
You looked in the mirror and said, "Yes, that is the look I'm after." There comes Joe Girardi after the 2-out hit by Brock Holt. Pitching change from Fenway. I'm on it. It's 2-1 Yankees. Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TC Eck and Steve Lyons will preview Henry Owens' start against the Yankees. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Well, Dylan Betances in here now for New York. As with 2 outs in the 7th inning, they go to him. And a runner at first base into his 60th game, 6-3 with a 1.34 ERA. 106 strikeouts in 67 1/3 innings. Opponents, they're only hitting .139 against Betances. Blake Swihart, the batter. And he lines one to left field, in for a base hit. Gardner over to play it, and Brock Holt up to second base. Tying run in scoring position now for Boston.
Nice hitting by Swihart right there, taking the fastball from Betances to the opposite field. Gets that pitch right down the middle, went low in the zone, and didn't try to pull it. Beautiful swing by Swihart. So with 2 outs, back-to-back base hits. And it brings up one of their hottest hitters. Boy, what good head discipline right there by Blake Swihart.
2 on, 2 down, and Jackie Bradley Jr. has 2 doubles in this game, and a double in the 3rd, a double in the 5th. There is strike 1. Breaking ball in there for strike 2. He's got that too in his arsenal. Nine out of his last 17 with runners in scoring position. Trying to push across the tying run right now here in the 7th. And he strikes out. The high fastball at 99 miles an hour, getting it done for Betances. 2-1 New York. Airlines. Book your low fare now on Southwest.com. Your local Subaru dealers. Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. And by Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. Now it is 2-1. Yankees have the lead over the Red Sox, and a new pitcher in the ball game as Porcello back on the mound here. As standing in is Stephen Drew to lead it off in the inning. Tommy Lane up in the pen. 95 pitches right now for Porcello as they stack it up on the right side of the infield for the Red Sox on Drew, who's already driven in 2 runs. First time up, he grounded into the 4-6-3 double play in the 3rd, then a double to drive in those runs in the 5th. Now an off balance cut, and it is 1-2.
Good change up there by Porcello. Hasn't really had the curveball working for him tonight, but the fastball and changeup's been very, very good. There's the change grip right there, and out in front of it is Stephen Drew.
Eleven strikeouts, tying his career high. Strike 3 call. New career high in strikeouts for Rick Porcello. Make it 12.
Well, I'll say this for Porcello and Culpa, the home plate umpire, they have been very consistent all night long with this pitch, especially to the left-handed hitters. That fastball inside has been called a strike all night long. And Porcello knows if he goes in there, turns it over a little bit, he's going to get that strike call from Culpa.
One down here in the 8th, and it brings up Jacoby Ellsbury, his 4th look at Rick Porcello. There is strike 1. Ellsbury is grounded out to second, struck out looking, grounded out to second again. Blemish for Porcello was the double by Drew in the 5th inning. Now a liner down the right field line. That's going to be a foul ball. Very close, and Ellsbury wasn't short, so he took off thinking that might get in.
And if it does, it might be 2 bases for Jacoby Ellsbury.
One thing he knows is this yard. Looking down there, down that right field line, and it can get down to the corner quickly, too.
Not fouled by very much, but probably about 6 inches.
0-2 pitch. Eight times this year, as Alex Spear points out, second most on the team. Only Buchholz has gone deeper. 9 times he's pitched 7 or more. And not in a while. One-two pitch. Strike 3 call. Make it 13 strikeout for Rick Porcello.
There's a pitch we haven't seen very often tonight. The slider from Porcello. We mentioned the curveball really hasn't been there for him, so he goes to a slider and picks up the outside corner. That's pretty impressive because, you know, these lefties right now are thinking about that inside fastball that he's been throwing all night long. Then he drops the slider on the outside part of the plate to Ellsbury, completely fooling Jacoby.
So 2 down here in the 8th inning, and it brings up Brett Gardner. He has struck out twice, grounded out to first, and does not get a piece of that. Strike 1. Amazing part of this is Porcello losing right now. The Yankees on top 2-1 with his dazzling pitching performance tonight. Down the right field line towards the pole. It is high enough, it is deep enough, and it is gone. Up over the pole and a home run. Brett Gardner with his 13th home run of the year gives the Yankees some insurance on top 3-1.
I believe this is the same pitch. It is that he got Jacoby Ellsbury on. It was away to Ellsbury. It was inside to Gardner. And Gardner picks up his 13th home run of the season. And that is a huge run at this stage of the game for the Yankees.
Now it's rolled over foul. It'll stay foul. And the home run had been a problem this season for Rick Porcello. That is the 21st home run that he has allowed on the season.
We talked about that earlier. You know, keep them in the ballpark because they have third in the league in home runs.
Now fly ball to right. Castillo in a good spot will now come in to make the catch that ends the inning. Home run for Brett Gardner gives the Yankees a 3-1 lead. Is 6 innings, giving up the 1 earned run, departing with a chance to grab the victory tonight. Came in at 9 and 8. The big hit was by Stephen Drew, and you can add another big hit for Gardner, a solo home run. Rick Porcello with a new career high, 13 strikeouts and 8 innings of work. Jackie Bradley Jr. representing the offense for the Red Sox. Couple doubles in this game. Now Porcello trailing 3-1 as the Red Sox come to bat here. Pretty good outing for him in this ball game tonight. Top of the Red Sox order, Mookie Betts leading it off against Betances, and that pitch was in the dirt, but Betts chasing it, didn't get a good look.
Yeah, you know, you gear it up for a fastball that can reach 99 miles an hour, then he drops a curveball on you, and that's the kind of swing sometimes you'll have. You're sitting on the fastball, you don't get it, you get the breaking ball, and you just chase it.
That's 0 for 3 tonight. Now he lines one into center field, a ringing single to begin the bottom of the 8th.
From Betances' point of view, too good a pitch with 2 strikes. He had him down 0-2 and gives him a fastball right down the heart of the plate. Mookie Betts jumping all over it for the base hit, so the leadoff man on here in the 8th inning.
Second hit Betances has allowed since coming into the contest. He's now got an 8-game hitting streak as Mookie Betts at .306. Sandoval takes strike 1. And Betances gave up a single to Swihart before he struck out Jackie Bradley Jr. on a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Gives up his single to Betts to begin things here in the 8th. Sandoval lifts a fly ball to center field. Ellsbury makes the catch for the first out of the inning. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to the Cystic Fibrosis Multiple Sclerosis Fund. Alltown is New England's premier healthier convenience retailer. 1 out, 1 on, and Xander Bogaerts the batter. And a single back in the first inning. Since then, he has struck out and flied out. Bouncing in and a throw to first base, but back to the bag safely as Betts' throw was low from McCann.
Oh, what a play by McCann, though. I mean, this ball bounces way out in front of the plate, and somehow he's able to catch this ball on one bounce. It's the breaking ball. It comes back a little bit, and he gets it off the hand first and then into the pocket of the glove. And almost had a pickoff attempt on Mookie Betts.
Pen is busy for the Red Sox. Tommy Lane, Noe Ramirez up for Boston. New right fielder for the Yankees is Chris Young, taking over for Carlos Beltran. 1-0 coming here to Xander Bogaerts. And a base hit through the right side. Betts is going to stop at second base. Throw goes into the infield, and it's first and second with 1 down. Xander gets his second hit of the night.
Yeah, another multiple hit game for Bogaerts, and you know, we see him wear out that side of the infield. They're giving him that side of the infield, and he takes advantage of it. The inside out swing, hands inside the baseball, and a little first and second action with the big guy coming up.
One out, 2 on, and David Ortiz the batter. And a tough time against Pineda. Glad to see somebody else, even if it is Dylan Betances. Struck out 3 times against Pineda in the ball game tonight. In the dirt for ball 1.
He saw a lot of that, a lot of breaking balls from Pineda tonight to David Ortiz.
0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts against Betances. In there for a strike. A little wiggle to that. 1-1. Runners are going as Ortiz swings and misses. Throw to third's going to be. They got him. He came off the bag. Betts came off the bag, appeared to overslide. The tag was on him. Vic Carapazza says they got him. Brian Butterfield, third base coach, disputing that, and Torey Lovullo looking into the dugout to see if they're going to challenge.
Well, let's take another look. I mean, there's no question he's going to beat the throw there. Does he come off the bag?
He's saying he pushed me off.
Well, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting. One foot comes off, the other foot stays on, but watch the glove continue to push the foot off the bag. And he didn't get his hand back on there in time.
The umpire's kind of blocked also as he's trying to get the right vantage point, and they're going to check it out. Umpires got together. Likely a crew chief check here. Has the look of it.
You know, it's a very risky move by the Red Sox by sending both base runners, but they had it stolen. They had 2 men in a scoring position. Now there's the tag. The foot's on the bag. The glove stays on the foot, and I think the foot comes off the bag. And if that's the case, then he's out.
Crowd likes what they see from the big screen here. Mookie saying, I'm on the base the entire time. Not sure he was at the end, though.
I'm not sure either. It looked to me like the foot came off before he got his hand back on the bag. It's going to be a very important call in this ball game right now. Contact. We can't tell from that angle whether if the foot's off the bag or not. Certainly the tag is still on. Here's a better angle to look at it. Tag is always on. Is the foot on? There's where it comes off right there, I believe.
He's out. They're sticking with it.
Yep.
Caught stealing is Mookie Betts. So a huge play right there. Bogarts at second base, a count of 1-2 to David Ortiz, but now with 2 outs in the inning. And Ortiz with a swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt has struck out for the 4th time in the ball game tonight. 3-1 New York.
Scoring in this game, Sandoval with a base hit to the opposite field, and that's going to score Jackie Bradley Jr. for the Red Sox run tonight for the Yankees. It's going to be a big error at first base, critical error right there by Travis Shaw, followed by a double by Drew. 2 runs are going to score there, and of course the other run for the Yankees coming on the Gardner home run, bat in the 8th inning. That's been the scoring here at Fenway Park tonight.
3-1. Yankees have the lead as we head into the 9th inning, and Tommy Lane into the game for Boston. 51st appearance, 1-1 with a 4.14 ERA, 41 strikeouts and 41 1/3 innings. And Brian McCann fouling the first pitch foul off to the right. So Rick Porcello goes the first 8 innings of this ball game. That was 5 hits and 3 runs. He walked 1 and struck out a career high 13 batters. Lane takes over for the 9th inning, and it's McCann, Alex Rodriguez, and Chase Headley. H.B. Hood salutes the Red Sox Foundation commitment to 4,900 accredited charities throughout New England. On the ground right side, Brock Holt will pick and throw for the first out of the ninth. And here comes Torey Lovello. It'll be one and done as the closer for the Yankees gets ready, Andrew Miller. So Lane gets McCann, and it's back to the pen for Lovello. 3-1, Yankees have the lead. Tomorrow's starting pitcher is Masahiro Tanaka against Henry Owens. Tanaka looking for his 11th win. He is 10-6 against Henry Owens, 2-1 in his major league career. Tanaka coming off a win and no decision last time out for Owens. This closer look is brought to you by FW Web. Selection, expertise, solutions, more at FWWeb.com. The Yankees have a 3-1 lead. Red Sox moving on to their third pitcher as Noe Ramirez comes into the game, just called up today as part of the September call-ups. And up before this year, fourth appearance, 0-1. Alex Rodriguez, the batter he'll face as he misses outside for ball one. A-Rod has struck out, singled, and grounded out to shortstop. Third stint this season for Ramirez as he deals with a strike and picks up the inside corner. Already action behind him in the pen, the veteran left-hander Craig Breslow. 30 games with the Paw Sox for Ramirez, 4-1. That breaking ball has A-Rod dancing out of the way.
A slide at that time that just slipped out of the hand of Ramirez, and Rodriguez able to get out of the way.
Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Oh, different pitch there, a changeup. Righty against righty, kept the changeup away from Rodriguez.
Would you call that 3/4 as far as where that's coming from?
Almost 3/4. Actually, yes, I will call it 3/4.
All right. Tommy Lane faced one batter. It was Brian McCann. Got him to ground out. He leaves. Ramirez comes in. And he strikes out Alex Rodriguez. 2 down in the 9th.
Another changeup. So 2 changeups to A-Rod. I think that's probably the last thing he expected from the right-hander.
So 2 down brings up Chase Headley. He struck out in the 2nd, struck out in the 5th, walked in the 7th. All that was against the Red Sox starter Rick Porcello tonight. Well, tomorrow at 3, don't miss. Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC Eck and Steve Lyons will analyze David Ortiz's pursuit of 500 career home runs. 0-2. Now Sandoval going from the left side of the infield to the right side on the shift. Swing and a miss, and Ramirez strikes out Rodriguez and Headley back to back. We head to the bottom of the 9th, 2-1 New York. Saturday on Dining Playbook, join Billy Costa and Jenny Johnson as they talk restaurant designs. Let's go into the kitchen with Mookie Betts as he cooks up his favorite salmon mac and cheese dish. Don't miss Dining Playbook Saturday morning at 9. Now it's on to the bottom of the 9th inning at Fenway Park. Red Sox trailing by 2 runs. And into the game, the closer for the Yankees and former Red Sox reliever Andrew Miller. 47th appearance, 2-2. With a nifty 1.94 earned run average, 28 out of 29 in save opportunities. Opponent sitting at just 152 against him as Travis Shaw takes strike 1. So Betances went an inning and a third as it turned out. Allowed 3 hits but no runs. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 2. Shaw takes the strike even though it gets away. 0-2.
Look at that scoreboard right now. It's a 3-3 game. Cleveland and Toronto in the 9th inning. Yankees a game and a half back.
Shaw striking out for the first out of the 9th inning.
That's pretty ugly right there. 2 fastballs, then the sit me down breaking ball. 2 fastballs followed by this. Sometimes not fair.
Yeah, look at all the strikeouts that Rick Porcello had tonight. 13. Well, the Yankees pitching staff Now has a total of 11. One down here in the 9th inning brings up Rusney Castillo. Castillo 0 for 3. He's grounded out 3 times, twice to short, once to third. Brock Holt limbering up on deck. One in, one out, 2-0. Fouled off to the right, out of play. And Jackie Bradley Jr. with 2 doubles in the game tonight. Runs scored. Strike 2. For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this year. CVS Pharmacy, the official pharmacy of the Red Sox. Look out, and he gets hit. So Rusney Castillo hit with a pitch, and the Red Sox will bring the tying run to the plate.
Yeah, Miller goes back to that breaking ball, this time too much. Too far inside, and it gets a piece of Rusney Castillo. There's the slider right there, and it just chases Castillo, and he gets him right off the shin, it looks like. Well, the Yankees can bring in some firepower at the end of the game, can't they?
Oh, yes, they can.
Wow. Matanzas and Miller. Right-handed, left-handed combination.
Brock Holt takes ball 1. He is lined out to short, struck out swinging, and singled to left. Blake Swihart waiting on deck. Two and 0. Foul off to the left, out of play, up into the top deck. Shaw struck out. Rusney Castillo hit by a pitch. Now Brock Holt with a swing and a miss.
I was surprised to see that pitch on the 2-1 count. I thought he'd come with the fastball. Instead, he comes with a slider. There's a slider again, going to be off the outside part of the plate, but a complete surprise there, I'm sure, to Brock Holt.
On the outside corner for strike 3. Second strikeout for Miller. 2 down in the 9th.
And just when you think he might go back to the slider, he comes back with the fastball and just barely picks up the outside corner with it. Everything away from Brock Holt in that at bat, including the last pitch.
So 2 down. Castillo at first base. Blake Swihart the batter. He'll take ball 1. Swihart grounded back to the mound in the 3rd. Struck out swinging in the 5th and singled to left in the 7th. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. Swihart looking back at Ron Culpo. On the ground, foul, and it's 1-2. Jackie Bradley Jr. hoping he'll get a chance to bat here in the 9th inning. There are 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch to Blake Swihart. Just away, 2-2. Swihart grounds it foul. We'll do it again. That time off at first was Rusney Castillo. He went around, and that's the ball game. Swihart is rung up by the home plate umpire Ron Culpa. He wanted him to check. He does not. Culpa's going to make the call and walk away. Ball game over as Miller ends up striking out the side.
I think it was a swing. It's very, very, very close. Swihart asking to ask for help, and I believe the first base umpire also did call him out.
Well, it works out that the Toyota play of the game, the home run by Brett Gardner in the 8th inning for Gardner, his 13th home run of the year. It gave the Yankees a 3-1 advantage. They would hold on to beat the Red Sox 3-1, and unfortunately pitching very well tonight, striking out 13 batters is Rick Porcello, but he is dealt the loss in the ball game as the win goes to Pineda, who grabs his 10th of the year, and another save for Andrew Miller. A loss here tonight for the Red Sox as we send it to Tom Caron.